welcome, fellow readers, to my very first installment, or you could say my first chapter, my first page, going down to the first sentence, the first word, and the first little letter, my first video, and my first step into the BookTube community. And I thought, what better way to start my journey than to do my very first TBR. So the very first book that I am going to be reading is The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey, and I've actually started this book already. I'm about 100 pages into it, and it's just awesome. It is so different than any book that I've ever read. It's about what the world would be like if aliens came in, but not like in like Independence Day or all these other movies about or books about aliens invading. It's so different than anything else. And I saw this book on someone else's channel. They were hauling it or they were going to be reading it, and it just sounded awesome. So I'm really looking forward to finishing this book, and I hope it's really good, and I hope it doesn't end with everyone dying, because that would just be tragic. But anyway, so that is The Fifth Wave. The second book on my list is Stephen King's On Writing. The reason why I picked this book up was a friend of mine who is also a writer suggested this book, and she said, it's life-changing. She didn't really say it that way, but you can just imagine. And so I just thought, you know, if any book is going to change my life, I mean, I just gotta read it. So I started it a couple days ago. I've gotten a couple pages into it, and it's really good. It's like a journal type style, and so it's not like an essay. It's not like a textbook. It's a memoir. So I'm looking forward to finishing it. And the next book in my TBR is Austenland by Shannon Hale. Shannon Hale. And it's about this girl that gets to go and experience the world of Jane Austen, Pride and Prejudice, and maybe meet her Mr. Darcy. Because who doesn't want to fall in love and marry Mr. Darcy? I mean, come on. I know I would. Well, I'm already married, so I wouldn't. I have my Mr. Darcy. There we go. So Austenland, Shannon Hale. The fourth book in my TBR is Firefly Lane by Shannon Hale. No, that was Austenland. This is Christine Hanna's Firefly Lane. Yes, Firefly Lane by Christine Hanna. Yeah, I picked it up because it had been recommended to me on my Goodreads because I read a book, I don't even know what book it was, but they recommended it to me because they thought I would like it. So I thought, why not? Goodreads always has good recommendations, right? I don't know. So it's about these two women who have been friends for all their life, and it's about their journey and their relationship and their friendship and all of that good stuff. And I think it takes place somewhere on the beach because that's where everything is always, it's set. It doesn't matter where it's set. Anyway. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to this book, and we'll see if it's any good. And that is Firefly Lane by, who is it? Christine Hanna, not Shannon Hale. Because Shannon Hale, she wrote Austenland, and Christine Hanna wrote Firefly Lane. I'm glad you guys know that now, because, I mean, who would make that mistake? The fourth was Firefly Lane by Christine Hanna. The fifth and sixth book on my list are a part of a series, and the first book is A Sensible Arrangement, and the second book is A Moment in Time by Tracy Peterson. And these are your typical, girl is having a hard time, or, girl has a coming of age and she falls in love, and all of how she falls in love and not wanting to fall in love and all, those kind of stories. But I really love them. They're so good. And I really love books that are set in the 1800s, the late 1800s, because I love the idea of what their life stood for. It was simple and easy, and I love reading books that are like that. And they're set in Texas, which is where I live. So I thought, why not? And the only thing that I haven't even started reading these books, but I already have a problem. And I mean, okay, so I said they're set in Texas. Can you tell me, can you get what? Yeah. There's mountains. People. Tracy Peterson. It's in Texas. There's no mountains in Texas. I mean, okay, there are mountains in Texas, in western Texas, but these look like Colorado Rocky Mountains, and I'm from Colorado, and this is Texas, so I hope that maybe she doesn't start in Texas, that she starts in somewhere where there's actually mountains that look like this. If not, then just shame on you, Tracy Peterson. But I'm not going to judge a book by its cover. You know, I'm sure the story is decent, and we'll see. So I'm excited about getting into these books. Second to last book is The Elite. It's the second installment in the Selection series, and I'm so excited about this book because I loved the first book. It was so fun. It wasn't that it was the best book I'd ever read, but after all of these depressing, life-changing anguish books, you know, that are usually dystopian novels, it was just a nice change. You know, it really, the best that I've heard it described was, you know, The Bachelor meets dystopia. And I love The Bachelor. It's just a guilty pleasure of mine. I love it. And I do really like dystopian novels because I love seeing a different type of world than the one we live in, and the way we live, how that can, you know, change the way the future is. Obviously, it's going to change the way the future is, but the consequences of that's what I'm trying to go with. And so I'm really excited about the second book, and I read the first book about a month ago, finished it, and I've been on the library waiting list for a month. So I went ahead, broke down, and bought the book. But there's a reason. I had a 15% coupon off of Barnes & Noble, and I just couldn't help myself. So I'm really excited about this book. Yay! So that is the second to last book. I don't know what number I'm on. So there we go. And the last book that I'm going to read in September is dun, 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 Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. I almost said Shannon Hale. That would have been insane. No, Shannon J. Maas, I think. Maas. Mace. Ace. Sarah wrote this here book, and I am so excited about this book. I've watched several people on their channels rave about this book, and they probably pronounced the author correctly. And I just, after like the fourth person that talked about this book, I was like, I have to read this book now. Have to. And when I was at Barnes & Noble, I found this lovely, beautiful copy for $10 as well. And I couldn't help myself because I had a coupon. And when you have a coupon, it just makes everything else better. So I'm really excited about this. And any book that has the cover with this really awesome looking girl carrying two swords, and you know that she's going to be doing some kicking booty. You know, it's just going to be a great book. So I'm really excited about that. So those are the books that I plan to read in the month of September. I have a lot of reading to do. Yes, I do, but I love it. I love reading. And so do you, or you want to be watching my video, and I'm so excited that you're here. So thank you for watching and enduring my long TBR. And I look forward to making more videos, and I will see you guys on the flip side.